So tonight was one of those nights where sleep was not an option, and at 7:50 a.m., instead of sleeping or even waking up, I will be making a tier list on all the animes that I've watched. And here they all are in all of their glory. Looking at it, it doesn't seem like a lot, but I've spent countless hours watching all of these. And I'm going to be ranking them based off the anime, not off the manga. And it's going to be a very serious list, brutally honest list. Now, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. One of, if not the best anime I have ever watched. It is an easy S tier for me. Character progression, flawless. It has great pacing. It starts off a little slow, but it's a good kind of slow. Like they took their time with it kind of slow. I love this anime. It was super impactful. It was one of the first that I've ever watched. And it's an anime that I enjoy rewatching too, which is also important. And also the ending is just like everything comes together so nicely. If you have not watched Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, you need to. There was a Full Metal Alchemist before this, and I know I said it's not about the manga, but I heard Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood's a little bit closer to the manga, which must mean the manga is also peak because this was just flawless. Flawless. Now, next up, Vinland Saga, another S tier. It's a little bit behind Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Maybe that's because it's not finished, but those first two seasons were so good. You guys are going to hate me for this, but I was so in love with the Askeladd Thorfinn and how cool he was and how cutthroat he was that when season 2 rolled around, I really didn't want to see a peaceful Thorfinn. So I skipped to the last 2 episodes of season 2 and watched those. Don't worry, I went back and watched season 2, and I hate myself for watching the last 2 episodes instead of watching all of season 2 as a whole at first, but it just shows how peak it is because it's still at the top of my list. It is amazing. It's super impactful, and those sad scenes really hit you, and those awesome scenes really hit you too. It's just so good. The animation's flawless. It's just amazing. Now, for Knights of the Apocalypse is B right now. It's because we all know that season 2 and season 3 of an anime could go downhill very fast. We've only had one season. This is the sequel to Seven Deadly Sins. I feel like it's good. I like the way it's heading right now, but they could still mess up. I really like King Arthur as the antagonist. I think it's going to be super interesting, and I'm very excited for the next season. It could be an A tier, maybe even possible S tier. I really like the pacing, but we'll have to see. Now, that time I was reincarnated as a slime was the second anime I have ever watched. I only clicked on it because it had a really funny long name. And when you're starting anime, you're like, what the hell is that time I was reincarnated as a slime? But I really enjoy this because it's not only OP main character and awesome powers, but it's also like the world building is awesome, but it's very political in a way. And I really enjoy that it's not all about the fighting, and it's a little bit about politics too. And it's an awesome watch. You guys should watch it if you haven't already, but I'm putting it at A tier. Attack on Titan. Maybe mainstream, but S tier. There's a reason it did so well. The animation is amazing. The character progression is amazing. Everything about this anime is just enjoyable. I love the story. I feel like it ended super well. Everything about this was just fun. It was entertaining. It was impactful. This anime was chef's kiss. S tier. It deserves to be up there with them. Now, Solo Leveling. I'm going to put this at A tier. A lot of people hate on Solo Leveling, but it's a very simple concept done super well. Sometimes it's not about reinventing the wheel or having this like Attack on Titan level story, but it's about finding a simple concept and just doing it super well, and I feel like Solo Leveling did that amazingly, and I love an OP main character. So I'm going to put that at A tier. It's not S, but it's good. It's very fun to watch. The animation's amazing. It's good. Now, Neverland. I'm going to put that at D tier. It didn't end well. I feel like the first season was awesome. I remember watching it, and it was super hype. It just, like, it didn't end well. And it's not something that I think about routinely like my S tiers. I think it deserves a D tier. I'm not too excited about this anime. Just wasn't it for me. But JJK going right back into peak S tier. A lot of people have shit to talk about JJK, but a lot of people don't. In my opinion, I feel like it's another one of those, like, people are saying, oh, it's a simple concept, it's dumb, but I feel like it's done super well. The characters are extremely lovable, like Toji, Gojo, like those are some of the sickest characters in all of anime. I really enjoy JJK. It is an extremely fun watch. It's a super easy rewatch. I've rewatched it 3 times, and that's time I could have been finishing One Piece, but it's super enjoyable. I love JJK. Next up, Baki, C tier. It's, for me, I don't really see the appeal. It's a lot of fighting, which is cool, but it's just like, and I'm Umbrella. It's an umbrella of all the Bakis that have come out, because I've watched all of them, and they're just like, whatever. They're fun. It's a fun watch, but it's just not, it's not it. Not for me. Now, Record of Ragnarok. I'm going to have to put this at D tier. I feel like it would have been a lot better, but I feel the times that they put the backstories of the characters, I feel like are super inconvenient, and it doesn't mesh well with the fights. It just doesn't feel like this is an anime I would watch when I would eat a bowl of cereal before I would start my day, just to get it over with. It wasn't very enjoyable. It's whatever. The characters are cool, but not cool enough to get to C tier. Now, Demon Slayer. Oof. I'm going to put this ahead of that time I was reincarnated as a slime. The villains in Demon Slayer are some of the coolest villains in all of anime. The Upper Moons, it doesn't get better than the Upper Moons. They're cool. They're insanely cool. I don't really love the Hashiras. I love a couple of them. Tanjiro's a super cool main character. He's not whiny. He's cool. His character progression is awesome. I don't think it's enough to push it to S tier, in my opinion. Muzan is fucking awesome, but I think the villains in this anime is what pushes it to the top of the A tier list. It's a great anime. It's a great watch. And honestly, I would rewatch it. So it deserves top of A tier. I don't think I would rewatch that time I was reincarnated as a slime, just because it's longer and the slow parts are really slow. But I appreciate it. They took their time with it. But Demon Slayer, it's got that one beat. Now, Dragon Ball. This is a hard one because an enjoyment factor, I grew up on Dragon Ball. Like, this was the first anime I've ever watched. It was Dragon Ball, and I'm umbrellaing it with the Dragon Ball, the first series with just Goku as a kid, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super. It's all under the same umbrella here, and I really enjoy it. It gives me nostalgic vibes. I'm going to have to put this a little bit before Demon Slayer, just because it's just OP main character. The story isn't all there. The stakes are always high, but it's always like, you always know Goku's going to win. And you know what? That's the thing with Demon Slayer, too. There's times where I think about Demon Slayer, and it's like, the Hashira should not have won that. It should have been the Upper Moons, but that's why they're A tier, because sometimes, like in, Attack on Titan, the villain does win, but it's not always the end of the world. I really like how that ended. I just don't think these two have a good enough story to push them to S tier fully, which is also why Solo Leveling's at the bottom of A tier, but it's super enjoyable. Now, Hell's Paradise. Ooh, this is a tricky one. I'm going to put this at B just because I haven't seen enough of it, but this is like top of B tier. I really enjoy it. I really like the pacing of it. It feels new to me. The main character is super cool. I just don't feel like I've seen enough of it to really enjoy it. I like the villains and how they're doing that on the island, the Hell's Paradise Island or whatever they call it. It's a cool watch. I just haven't seen enough of it. B tier is like the Isle, where it's like I haven't seen enough to really, put it at A or S, but it's a very fun watch. Now, ReZero, I'm going to have to put at the bottom. It's going to be mid B tier. And let me tell you why. For me, at some points, ReZero can feel a little bit boring. It could feel a little bit like the same thing over and over, which makes sense because he dies and then comes back to life over and over again. But for me, it just like, I can't really remember a lot of the characters' names, which I find to be a problem, which is the same as all three in the B tier. Maybe it's a memory issue, or maybe they're just not memorable enough to me. I know Subaru, I think that's his name, is the main character. Everybody else, I don't really remember their names. And that's okay. That's why it's B tier for me. One Punch Man, C tier. Don't love the story. I really like the overpowered main character. We all know what happened with the last season, and its animation felt a little bit lackadaisical. It just doesn't really do it for me. It's a cool concept. I enjoy that it's a fun watch, but it's definitely ahead of Baki. Let me move Baki. It's definitely ahead of Baki by a pretty large bit. So maybe Baki is like pushing D tier, but One Punch Man is just like whatever to me. A lot of people love it. A lot of people think it's mid. I think it's a little less than mid. Now, One Piece. S tier. One Piece, I've watched not the whole thing. I'm not fully caught up. I've watched around 600 episodes of One Piece. It's a very slow burner, but the world building is insane. And it just like, for me, it feels, I'm like jealous of the crew. Like it just, one of those things, one of those animes that you would want to be in. You'd want to be on the Sunny, riding with the Straw Hat crew. I love One Piece. It's a classic. It's great. There's not much I could really say about it. I want to finish it first, but it's a pretty good watch. Hunter x Hunter. Oh my gosh. I have all these S tiers. I thought I was going to be a little bit more strict with this, but Hunter x Hunter. Man, this is tough. Because I want to say it's better than Attack on Titan. And I think it is better than it. You know what? I think it's better than Vinland Saga 2. Actually, no, it's not. Sorry. It is a little bit worse than both of these just because I didn't like that the anime didn't keep going. I wanted to keep going. I think the villains in Hunter x Hunter are peak. Mariwam, whatever the fuck that guy's name is, the King Ant. He's like one of the coolest villains I've ever seen. I love that arc. People say the Ant arc is a little bit like elongated and too long and boring. But I feel I really enjoyed that arc. I think they took their time with it. The character building's awesome. Adult Gon was peak. And whenever I see an edit on TikTok of that, makes me want to rewatch it. And I have rewatched Hunter x Hunter 2 times. And it was a pretty easy rewatch. So I would have to put that at S tier. I feel like it's one of the big boys up here. Now, My Hero Academia. I fucking hate this piece of shit. People swear by it. People love Deku. People love the villains. I see edits all over my TikTok, but it just makes me cringe because I know how, and I know I said I wouldn't base it off the manga. I know how My Hero Shitademia ends, and I don't like how it ends. I'm not excited to keep watching. It's something I actually want to stop watching, and I think it's actually better than Record of Ragnarok. And, it's better than the rest on the D tier, but that's not saying much because it's still a D tier. I'd rather watch Baki because at least Baki is fun. My Hero Academia, for me, it's not that fun. But speaking about D tiers, now we got Kakugiri. I'm going to have to put this at the bottom of the list because I watched it strictly based off of curiosity. But for me, I liked the mind games and all of that stuff, but it's just like I need to see some fighting. I need to see some action. And if I'm doing a tier list based off of things I've watched, this is probably the most boring thing I've watched out of any anime I've watched. Now, Seven Deadly Sins, I'm going to put at A tier ahead of Solo Leveling. I think this anime isn't talked about enough. Escanor, the Seven Deadly Sins crew, the villains, it's all so peak. And I feel like Four Knights of the Apocalypse, for me, I have very high expectations for just because of how peak Seven Deadly Sins was. I've rewatched Seven Deadly Sins a lot. I'm actually going to put it ahead of that time I was reincarnated as a slime. It's a super fun watch. Meliodas is a super cool main character. The pacing, I feel like, is done very well. And the world building is also super good. The only reason it's not ahead of Dragon Ball is strictly because of nostalgia and impact on my anime journey. Dragon Ball takes the cake. And now here we have our last one, Dog and Scissors. So this is an anime that my friends and I were messing around on Crunchyroll, and we're trying to see what is the most ridiculous thing that we can find on Crunchyroll. And it was Dog and Scissors. This anime was so fucking terrible. Like, we watched it and we just laughed the whole time. It's basically just a dog making fun of how small the main character's boobs are the whole time, and they're doing random shit, and the people who read her books become obsessed and insane, and it's just like, it's terrible. I think it's only one season long. They only made this show to promote its manga, which probably isn't that good. I mean, the intro, it's the girl in a spaceship in her bra, but you never actually get to, I mean, it's not like I want to see it, but it's a main character in her bra in a spaceship that's shaped like a book, I think. I don't even remember. And you don't even get to see it in the anime. It's one season long. It was a total, like, just a funny watch because my friends never watch anime, and this is how they're introduced to it, which I'm disservicing them by showing them this terrible fucking anime, but they wanted to watch it, and yeah, so that's my tier list. Just going back to see if I can make any last minute changes. My S tier, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, is the best anime I've ever watched. That adds up. Vinland Saga, I'm actually going to move because I think, I don't know, Hunter x Hunter is just so good, but it just didn't finish. Like, they need to continue it for it to be ahead of Attack on Titan. But Vinland Saga and Attack on Titan are tied for me. These two are even. I would actually put Attack on Titan a little bit ahead of Vinland Saga just because of its story and how awesome it was and how many times I've rewatched it, because I've rewatched it a fair amount of times. JJK, peak. One Piece, peak. I haven't finished One Piece yet, but I see clips on TikTok. I can only imagine it's going to get better. A tier, Demon Slayer, Dragon Ball, Seven Deadly Sins. That time I was reincarnated as slime. Solo Leveling, that adds up. Hell's Paradise is super cool. I feel like it's going to end up being A or even S as it continues. I just haven't seen enough of it. ReZero is a good watch, but it's a little bit the same thing over and over again. So I'm going to have to put Four Knights of the Apocalypse ahead of it just because I feel like it has more potential for me. And then C tier, One Punch Man. Doesn't really do anything for me. Baki, kind of the same vibe, just fighting and OP main characters. D tier, My Hero Academia, which is the best of the shit. And then Promised Neverland, Record of Ragnarok, where they just interrupt all the fights and totally just take the wind out of every single fight that is remotely cool. And then the two animes that have really nothing to do with fighting, which this list adds up for me. Let me know what you guys think I should watch next, because I'm going to continue to watch anime, and I need to finish One Piece. But if there's any things that you would change on this list, let me know down in the comments. Thank you for watching. Peace out.